Welcome back to my channel, y'all. This is I Glam Beauty, and I'm gonna jump straight into it. Listen, I had a lot of problems going on with my camera. My space was filled, and I didn't get her brows that I done on camera. Instead, it started out with her brows already done. You know, I like to do from beginning to end on my faces. This is a model face. This is not a client, thank God. But nevertheless, I got into it and we got the job done. This video is quite choppy because of the video not recording and cutting off and just doing all kind of things. But I did give face honey to this young lady. So her brows are already done. As I told you all before, I won't put details of what I use except you ask until I get more followers, and of course me being more consistent. I have to make sure that I'm held accountable. Nevertheless, I'm taking a big fat blending eyeshadow brush to blend in her eyeshadow. We did a cut crease look on her. My hair is in the camera. I am in the camera a lot on this video. It was a lot of angle differences because of the lighting that was coming from the window. Oh my God. Nevertheless, I wanted to put this up still. It is not my best, but it came out beautiful. So I did not want you all to miss the magic. This is a cut crease eyeshadow blend. Her eyebrows were already arched and clean as they should be when you come in to get your enhancement and your makeup beauty done. Nevertheless, I went ahead and sculpted her brows, filled them in, did her eyeshadow, and then I began to cut her crease, which I did here. And I'm going to add more eyeshadow to create a cut crease look. This was not a full cut crease. I call this wasn't a half cut crease either, but I did a small cut crease on her because she had hood lids and it is complicated. And there we have the lighting again. Nevertheless, you see me, I'm beating, I'm blending eyeshadow in. I use a Lorac, an old eyeshadow palette by Lorac. I use my not Anastasia, but Beverly Hills. I'm sorry. I use my Morphe palette. I use the Juvia's Place palette for these eyes, and we got what needed to be done, honey. We got what needed to be done. I did one eye on camera like I'm doing now using my It Cosmetics blending eyeshadow brush, which is very, very, very good for blending eyeshadows together. They do great blending. This particular brush does. Then I had to go ahead and blend out some of that eyeshadow that was too high up above the crease so I could bring her eyeshadow closer to the inside of the eye. I didn't want a wide crease or a lot of eyeshadow going across her eye. I wanted her eyeshadow to be smaller, closer, and set in place so that it will give a higher effect and make her eyes look open. She was a trooper. She didn't blink. She let me do whatever I wanted to do because I had to let her know, baby, listen, this is my story to be told, but you're going to help me tell it, all right? Let me go ahead and do my story. You're going to help me tell it. Just sit there. I promise you're going to be a queen. After I get done with you, go do anything you want to do with your free makeup, but baby, thank you. So I went in and I went and did a slight angle liner for her wing. I didn't do a full wing liner. I wanted my liner to be short because her eyeshadow for this cut crease was short. So I had her to put the fan up, so she can go ahead and let that eyeliner dry because I did one eye on camera and then I did the other one off camera. I had to fix a couple of things because I believe that by her fanning, it was drying my eyeshadow wing liner out a little bit. But nevertheless, baby, you already know that I'm going to get the job done. It never fails. I was reaching across for something else and I have makeup everywhere. And then we went ahead and put on mascara. This was I forgot the name of this mascara. I absolutely do not know the name of this mascara. But if you ask me, I would find it, and I would definitely give you the name of the mascara because baby had lashes, so I wanted to make sure that the fallout from her eyeshadow was blended out of the lashes, so we could put the falsies on. She had pretty lashes for her own lashes. All I had to do was put on falsies to enhance her own lashes. Not too big, not too much. I specialize again in eyeshadow blend and natural beauty beats. Can I do super glams, high glams? Yes. I'm not artistic when it comes to different types of cut crease, as I see a lot of girls doing these different artistic blends, which are absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love to see. I love art. I love color. I love it. And there is no but about that. I love it. All I know is that that's that little rock palette. That's an old palette, and I was trying to get that rose gold that was in that palette to play off a little better on her eyes. So I added it to her brow bone, which you can see, you can't see, but it was an accent to the eyeshadow look, which was very pretty, because her eyebrows are bomb. They were twins. They were not sisters, honey. They were twins today. But yes, I do natural cut crease looks, natural eye shadow looks. I can glam it up, with the glitters and rhinestones and things like that. And but I normally stay in my comfort zone because that's what women who come as paying clients come to me for, is for my natural looking eyeshadow, and my natural looking face that I do. Um, Sometimes I amp it up. It just all depends on what a person is looking for, but I stay where I'm at because I get paid very well when my clients pay me for what they are asking. And they are still beautiful. Some of those eyeshadow looks are for runway, they're for photo videos, they are for hair. They're not always for everyday look. Then that's just my take on that. But they are beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful if they're done correctly. There's her eyelash I put on. Was having a little problem with the glue. Wasn't all the way tacky, but nevertheless, I made that work so that it wouldn't stick to her bottom lid. I never claimed to be an eyelash queen. Who there are women that can lay an eyelash down, blop 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 blop, and that eyelash is in place quickly. But sometimes I have a challenge with getting some of my lashes on. I do prefer eyelash bands that are thinner than thicker. The more lashes you have on on falsies, the thicker the bands are. If they're really fluffy lashes, that band gonna be real thick. But I give clients what they want. But this was a model face. Now I'm going in with concealer to highlight her eye. Now I do under concealer. I put concealer and she's asking me about it because she has some imperfections under her eyes that she is uncomfortable about. But I was telling her and showing her at the same time what will help conceal and hide. It will not, absolutely will not correct every imperfection that you have, but you can hide a lot of it. Therefore, there's not a lot that is shown. If you have dark rings, it will cover them up if you conceal them correctly, whether it's color correcting or if it's just concealing to correct. Some people need color correcting, and some people can use just concealer, and concealer will do the trick. Sorry about my camera is trying to autofocus. So I under conceal on her and put her foundation on top of this. Then I over conceal, meaning that I conceal under the foundation to hide the imperfections. Then I put foundation on top of this for her whole face. Then I put concealer on top of the foundation. That is something that I don't do for every client. I do this as needed. So this is what I wanted to show her because she's insecure about some things. We all have insecurities, and we want to learn ourselves. And she does her own makeup, and I give her little tips on the things that she can do um, to hide those imperfections without having to go to the surgical approach. As we approach a certain age, things are going to shift and they are going to move. So thank God for makeup that we're able to do certain things to ourselves um, to make us satisfied about what we look like. So after I concealed her, I was getting the foundation, which I use NARS on her. I love NARS foundation, period. Whether you are, she is a Spanish Latin of the Latino community. I think she just got a somewhat of a creamy complexion, but she have a peachy undertone on her face. So you can't go in with just porcelain foundation on her, because she is not as dark as some, of the Latino girls, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans, whatever, the nationality is. But if you get a foundation that matches, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm in the camera so much. Please, this is not my best video, but her foundation, her face came out so pretty. I could not put it up. But with her NARS foundation, it we had a peachy undertone that helps to blend in and oxidize. When the oxidization process takes place, it won't oxidize to the point that is gray, or it is this white casty looking. We don't want that. We want it to look like skin, and this foundation looked like skin on her. Um, so after I concealed, as you see, I took my Morphe buffing brush, which, oh my God, I finally found me another one. I finally found me another one. So now I have one that I can use for my clients, and I have one I can use for myself. The one I was using for myself, I wasn't using on my clients because I liked it for myself. But I have another one, so I'm so happy now. I've been talking about this brush in a lot of my videos. I finally got it. So I blend all the way in, on top of her forehead, all over the face, on top of the concealer, because we do want it to be full coverage and very smooth up under the eye. Because of the imperfection under her eye, we have to make sure that we get a full coverage look under the eye so it can be very smooth once we apply powder. So yeah, we did a lot of talking because we know each other personally, so it's easy to be able to conversate. And there's me, there's my weave, and all that good stuff in the way. I conceal again. This is the process that I was telling you about. It is not a technique that I do all the time, but I do it as necessary, as needed. I concealed her with, this was called Too Faced. This was a Too Faced concealer. I can't remember what color it was in, but it was Too Faced concealer, and it worked very well up under, and it wasn't too much on top. So I went down the bridge of her nose, and I went up on her eye again with that same blending brush that I blend in her foundation with, so that, please y'all, I'm in the camera. I gotta laugh because this is one of the very unattractive videos I've put up yet. But the next one will not be like this. I was having so many issues with my phone, and I didn't notice me being in the camera as much as I was. I did not notice it until I looked at this video and had to chop it up to pieces. So I concealed her under eye before the foundation, concealed her under eye after the foundation, to give her under eye a very soft look and clean look and youthful look. So that's what we're doing on this. After I blend it in, I blend in a little more foundation, I believe, um, so that we can get an even one look on her face. We don't want the face to look like I was talking. I do a lot of talking. I talk my hands like I'm an Italian person. I do a lot of body language when I talk. You'll think I'm aggressive, and I am not. I am a very sweet person, but that's just the way that I talk and express myself. Um, I blend in use my beauty blender. I only use Real Technique beauty blenders. And I seen some beauty blenders on a YouTube video of a young lady doing her makeup on her client and herself, and they're called Paws, Paws. I am going to get those because she said they're soft. I love soft beauty blenders. Beauty blenders absorb. Remember, anything that is like a sponge absorb. So that's what we're doing. We're pretty much kind of absorbing the product in. It goes into the beauty blender, but we are buffing it into the face. We need it to absorb some because we don't want that cakiness or that cakey look when we're doing our faces or when you're doing a client's face. I'm blending out with foundation again, the NARS, because I felt that she needed a little bit more foundation. This particular NARS foundation, if you add more to the face, it give you a full coverage look. It is not like the older foundation that I have of NARS. The older one, it was a little more thicker and a little more concentrated, but this one is not. So it's buildable. So it has a buildable coverage. So I added more so that we can get the foundation to blend in a little more natural with the primer. I use the back of my hands a lot. Some people use a silver pan to put their foundations on, their liquids on, their creams on. Have not mastered that in 8 years. I don't think I'm going to master that, and I don't think I ever tried to. My hands are always clean. Wash my hands before I ever touch a client, and I'm continuing wiping my hands with antiseptic wipes that sits right by me by my station, so my clients see everything that goes on. I have no reason to lie about that, because whenever you're touching a person's face, you're adding bacteria to their face. So you have to be in tune and be careful about it, and it's transferable. So after I blend in everything, I think I was looking for something. I forgot what I was looking for because this video was done a week ago. And so I have to try to remember everything. A baby girl had to kind of position herself. She was waiting on me and waiting to, see the finished look, the finishing product of her face, because that's always what I like to see, is how people look when they're, see their face for the first time after they get it done, professionally, besides them doing it themselves. As you see, that crease is going inward. That makes the eyes inside open up, and on the outside, she has. It looks a little smaller, but that brow bone is very pronounced. She have hood lids, and I do myself. I have hood lids. Therefore, the product doesn't show as well on hood lids than a person that have a lot of eye space. And so we have to make it work with what we got, and that's what I do, honey. I make it work. We're going to make sure that we see color on your eyelids. We're going to make sure that you assess your eyeshadow, and it's going to accessorize with whatever you are wearing, because baby, what you want to do is look beat to the gods, and you want to look beautiful. I don't know what I was doing and what she was looking at, or what I was looking for that I couldn't find, but powder. I was testing out powders that would fit her face, and I was trying to find the powder, setting powder, to make sure that it was the proper setting powder. I end up using a banana powder on her face. It worked out perfectly because it wasn't very golden or yellow. This was a Revolution banana powder, and Revolution, this is why I don't use Revolution on me, because the payoff on me is not successful. It doesn't give what it's supposed to give on my complexion. I have a lot of golden undertones in my face. I need things that are gonna bring out those golden undertones. And Revolution does not. I use Ben Nye on myself, but Revolution on her, the banana powder came out wonderful, because to me, the banana powder in Revolution, it has a white cassiness to it. Yeah, it just never worked for me. Even when I mixed it with my Ben Nye, it still never worked for me. But it worked for her. So that's what I was trying to do, was make sure I got the proper powder to set her face. Yeah, I was doing a lot of movement in the camera. I'm never usually like that, but this was a kind of a late face, and I didn't want her to be going to her place of residence, in the dark. Not that that's a bad thing, but we had some technical difficulties when we got started. So I used matte on her face, and this color, I'm not sure. I don't remember which one it is. This is the MAC. It's not the pressed powder. Can't remember, but it is give more of a sheerness. It don't give a lot of full coverage. So I used two different ones. I know one of them, the last one, was in medium tan. That was to bring a little more color to her face. After I had put on all of the product that I was going to use. So I used this powder, and I used another MAC pressed powder. Again, a darker tone, just to bring a little more color to her face. I don't know what I was saying to her. Oh, I was telling her we was using Fitney to contour, and I was telling her that this Fitney color was going to be so precise and beautiful on her. I told her, because it wasn't too heavy, it wasn't too much. I didn't have to do a lot of blending out, because sometimes when you have really dark contour, you have to blend out so much to tone it down. But this was like on point. This was so good. I had to show it, and of course it didn't show well because I was out the screen. I was out of the screen. I think you can see a little bit Fitney Beauty, but I don't know the color of it off the top of my head. But it was so perfect for her contour. Yeah, we work together, so therefore we talk about everything. I don't want to talk about work when I'm off work. I told somebody one time, a long time ago, if I'm off the cloud, don't come talk to me about nothing that's going on the job, because I ain't at the people job. I'm doing what I love right now. I don't want to hear nothing. All I want to do is focus on what I'm doing. But nevertheless, I keep it moving. If you can't handle that kind of conversation, with me, then they don't need us having no conversation. When I'm off these people 9 to 5 and I'm doing my own thing, I don't want to talk about it. I ain't getting paid to talk about no foolishness that goes on every job. And I tell that to anybody. I told that girl that at a time, and she never called me back. But see, I'm that person. If you can't take me as I am, then you can't take me. I prefer for you not to call me back. Because I'm that type of person that I will block you, and I don't have any remorse. Not none. Cutthroat. It used to be that way. But life tends to give you a way of teaching people that they can't have access to you how they want to. And that's period. And that was a woman that I told that to. So woman, it don't matter. It doesn't matter with me. So I didn't get enough of that Fenty off the brush. I like this brush. This brush is called Mudo. I bought it and I like that it had a angle. It was a dense brush, meaning that the bristles are really close together, and it had an angle on it. I'm like, man, I like this brush. I like this brush. I used it on me one time, but I don't have a lot of forehead space, and I use the brushes that I've been using for many years on myself. I have not changed that, way of applying my face, my products on my face. But when it comes to my clients, because they have different face structures, a lot of different brushes work. So when you have a lot of brushes, and you steady buying brushes, oh my goodness, you just want to try it. I just want to try and see how it works. And I think that brush was like maybe I bought it from Marshall's. I think maybe it was $6 or $10, something like that. This is another brush that I bought from Marshall by Japanese. I think that's how you pronounce that. It's a big flat brush. It's not an angle brush. There's no angle. It's just flat and wide. It's big. And it helped me with her contouring of her nose, because her long nose is long. So a shorter brush would have worked, and that's fine, but a big brush get the job done faster. So I'm just contouring her nose with that same Fenty cream color. I don't know why I was doing that. Oh, so I took a lighter concealer. This concealer was much lighter than the one I used under her eyes, just to highlight her nose a little bit. I could have did a little better on her nose. Next time I do her makeup, I'll make up for that. Because sometimes, professionals aren't perfect, because it's an ever-learning, this is an ever-learning art. It's always something new. There's always new products. There's always new techniques. And that's been going on before I ever started doing makeup for many years. And that's just how it is. I used Too Faced. This was a shimmer powder, loose powder. She bought this with her. I loved it. I had never used a loose powder. All my shimmers, all my highlighters are packed. They're pressed. But this was a loose powder. It was very light, so I had to add a little more. But in the light, you can see that shimmer, and it works well on like forehead areas where you don't want to have a lot of highlight that makes the face look really oily. So I added some more shimmer. I think I used a different color shimmer on top of that brought her cheekbone highlight out a little more. I'm using the MAC, I think that was medium tan, to bring some more color to her face, because to me it was just a little too light, too peachy, and I wanted to warm it up a little bit. It's just a little too peachy, so I warmed it up a little bit, just a little bit, so that she can have a color that will bring out the color in her arms and in her everything that's exposed to the sun, which are her arms and chest and stuff like that. Nevertheless, she is an aging beauty as myself. We are in the over 40 gang, and we try to make sure that we're not overdoing ourselves with makeup, because everybody apply the makeup how they want to. I have no input on it, but I would love to teach women better techniques that will make their makeup, make their face more attractive to themselves, and they will appreciate putting on makeup and not feel that it is a job or a task that you have to do in order to cover up and hide some things or to go out and look nice. I'm putting some powder. I am smudging out her under eye. That's what I'm doing here. Smudging out her under eye. And I put a paper towel so that I won't touch it with her skin. You can use whatever, whether it's a paper towel, whether it's a beauty blender, that if you're gonna touch her skin after you apply a product, make sure that you're not touching it with the face under the eye too much, because then you're wiping away product, and then you have to add more product or you adding bacteria to the face. I am a person that like to touch the skin. I just am. But I do try to minimize how much I do touch a person's skin with my hands. I try to. But they call it hands-on. I'm hands-on, honey. I am hands-on. So she was watering up, so I didn't want no tears to fall. I didn't want those tears to fall. Ooh, she is pretty already, honey. You see it. Ooh, ooh. Them cheekbones, baby, they is popping. Baby, your cheekbones popping. I know you're going to look at this video. Your cheekbones popping. Yes, ma'am. And I just was adding eyeliner in the waterline because this look did call for it. They opened up her eyes very well. Look, I had to give her the paper towel because I didn't want it to fall. I didn't want no water to fall. Here, get that girl. Let that water fall. That's my makeup. Look at her. How pretty she is. So pretty. Oh, she's so freaking pretty. I love it. This is what I like. I like the finished product. I like what it looks like and what it makes a woman feels like when you are finished with their makeup. Oh my gosh, they feel so beautiful and they love it, and they try to wear it for days. And sometimes some women can do it. I have not mastered sleeping in my makeup, and it still look pretty the next day, which you should never sleep in makeup. But hey, some women do it, and we all have done it from time to time if you wear it. But boy, I tell you, it's not easy to do. When you wake up and the eyelash folded up like a sandwich. Oh, the eyebrow wiped off, and you can't put it back on because you didn't do your own makeup. Oh, it's a task. That's why it's good to learn the basic steps. Look here. Baby done took her hair down. Y'all see her. Ooh, ooh, baby. She took her hair down for you. You see she had it wrapped up with the Barbie pin, honey. She had it wrapped up with the Barbie pin. Y'all gotta go and follow me on TikTok at a queen with 2 N's in the South. On TikTok, AQUINDASOUTH. A queen. I'm the only one with the name. You'll see my beautiful picture sitting up there. And I have some makeup on my page, but I do a lot of relationship talk. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'm on TikTok. And yes, baby, look, giving him something that he can feel. Yes, she's a married woman. Yeah, she's taken, honey, and she's going to see her king. Yes, when she get home. Yes, honey, she's going to see him. You gotta. So what I'm doing is I've used a peachy gloss, but I had to line her lips with a very light tan lip liner. She has fine lips. I overlined the top lip. I don't know why I gave her that lip liner, but I did, and there it is in her hand. Baby, look, I need to go back and do me a blooper video. I need to do a blooper video on all the stuff I did. That wasn't things I was supposed to do, but it happened. I guess you were asking me where I'm holding. Oh, but I think that I didn't want to keep reaching for the lip liner, but shoot, I could have held my own lip liner. I hold all kind of lipsticks, lip liners, and brush all at one time in my hand, so I could have very well held that lip liner in my hand. So, and that's the finished look. Hair down, baby. She put that wrap. She had her hair wrapped up in those Barbie pins, and she let it down. And you see what it's looking like with the makeup. Natural glam, very soft, not overdone. And she know that she the shit. You see me. Now what? Don't worry about